And our final family member that is addressing us today is Nate Kredich, Vice President of Residential Market Development of the USGBC. Excuse me, as you can tell, my sinuses are starting to go, so my enunciation is getting... Nate and his staff has been instrumental in forging a strong alliance between the Lead for Homes program and Resnet professionals. Nate, could you come online?
Great. Thank you. Good morning. And thank you to Steve and to the Resnet group for this opportunity to be with you today. You know, it was about 3 years ago that I started in my position with the USGBC, and it was one of those typical days. First day I was in Washington, D.C., and somebody scheduled a meeting for me, and I didn't know who I was with and who these people were, and so I went into the meeting. I didn't know anything. It turns out nobody at USGBC knew anybody, why they were there either. And the people were Steve Baden and Kelly Parker. And so it was amazing because we sat down, we had a really good conversation for about an hour. And it was really clear to us that this is a group that the U.S. Green Building Council needed to collaborate with. But in the months that followed, what was nice is that it was clear that this was a group that really wanted to collaborate with us. And they were very, very open. And the motives for that are very, very pure, which is, you know, Resnet wants to create opportunities for you, for its members, for its raters. And since that time, we've collaborated on a great deal with Steve and his team. Advocacy, policy issues, marketing programs, our respective training programs. So I speak for USGBC when I say it's partnerships like these two-sided partnerships with Resnet, the selfless, cooperative partnerships that are really helping us to move the needle residentially. So Steve, thank you. I'm here to, again, I want to congratulate Resnet on this terrific success of its program and of this conference, but I'm also here to confess that I've got a problem. Well, actually, USGBC has a problem. I have many problems, but it's a problem I think you can all help us with. As they say, one man's problem is another man's opportunity. So before I get into that, just a quick reminder who we are. We're the U.S. Green Building Council. We're a mission-based nonprofit organization. We're focused on the complete transformation of our built environment within a generation. We're the LEED people, and hopefully you guys know LEED by now. It's a voluntary rating system. It measures really the greenness of an overall building. LEED has been in the marketplace for 11 years. LEED for homes has only been in the market for about 3. And there's still, I think the gap there feeds the idea that LEED is still a commercial rating system. And truth be known, we've had tremendous success commercially. If you look at our commercial rating systems, the last several years, we've seen triple-digit growth in all of our major commercial rating systems, particularly new construction, existing buildings, operations and maintenance, commercial interiors. We're touching over 90,000 projects across the world these days. And late last year, we actually reached over 1 billion square feet in certified space. So, and we've got another 7.4 billion square feet that's in the queue. And at the pace we're at today, commercially, we're still certifying about 1.4 million square feet every single day. So obviously there's a lot of momentum there. And as they say in the commercial world, if it's not LEED, it's not Class A space. So this isn't the problem, but it's contributing to the phenomenon that is the problem. And that phenomenon is the growth of the LEED brand, simply beyond the commercial realm. So think about where each of you spend your lives and how you spend your lives. And certainly we all go to work, and LEED is very visible there, as I mentioned. 1.4 million square feet of certified space every day. Certainly there are homes, and I'll touch on that in a minute, but think about the other places in your life. Think about your schools. So last year we launched the Center for Green Schools. It's the first of its kind. Its mission is green schools for everyone within a generation. It's a proven fact that kids that go to green schools have higher test scores, lower absentee rates, The programs have more money at the end of the year for something that's novel, like teachers. And so that's a big focus for the LEAD program. But we're also now focusing beyond K-12. We partnered with Princeton Review. We're publishing the Guide to Green Colleges. It's a roadmap that puts the LEAD brand front and center with 18 to 22-year-olds, very important, very impressionable folks in our market that are going to be the next generation of decision makers. Then think about where you and your family go to receive health care. The LEAD for Healthcare rating system has taken off, and it's a subspecialty within our commercial rating systems. Think about where you shop. We launched last year our LEAD for Volume program that's going to be taken advantage of by a lot of retailers, folks like Kohl's and PNC Bank and Starbucks. Now they have the opportunity to certify their portfolios in hundreds of buildings that helps to minimize their global impact. Now think about the neighborhoods that we're living in. We launched our LEAD for Neighborhood Development rating system last year. So if you look at this as the landscape, you start to see our brand beyond the workplace. You see it in the schools, you see it in your stores, you see it where you shop, you see it where you receive your care. And you ask the question, how does this brand not become a household name? So now let's talk about homes. Now last year was our 3rd year in existence. We certified just over 5,000 homes across the country. Based on Census Bureau information that says we're at about 1% market share, which really isn't bad for a program as young as ours. But certifications is really just one indicator, and it's a lagging indicator. And the good news is that we have a good leading indicator, and that's our registrations. So registrations are homes that are coming into the program that are actually paying a fee and intend to certify into the future. So to give this number some context, most projects come into the program right around where the home would start. So we compare this number usually to housing starts. For 2010, the Census Bureau said we started about the same number of homes we finished, so it's about 550,000. But if you take this number and you consider, well, we were about 1% market share in 2010, that would portend we're headed toward 4% market share in a very short order, which is really very exciting. And if you compare LEAD for homes to the other commercial rating systems that are in the marketplace, all of which have been terrifically successful, you take a look at that 3-year growth rate. Our 3-year growth rate outstripped the other rating system, the other commercial LEAD rating systems by a pretty sizable margin. So to put it differently, homes has grown more quickly and robustly than any other LEAD rating system in our history. And now we get to the problem. Because with LEAD for homes, you don't need a LEAD AP. We wish you'd have one, but you don't need a LEAD AP. You don't need commissioning agents. You don't need somebody with years of documentation experience. But you do need one thing, and that is a LEAD for homes green rater. Green raters are required by LEAD for homes. They're educated, they're field trained in LEAD. They work hand in hand with our LEAD for homes providers, and they're the gateway to and the backbone of the entire program. And we don't have enough of them. We have over 35,000 homes in the queue currently awaiting certification. We have 156 Green Rater certificate holders. Now these guys are good, I mean, they're really good, but they're not that good. To exacerbate our problem is our run rate. Now if you look at this chart from 2010, we had a terrifically successful year up until the 4th quarter, and then the ramp of projects that came into the program accelerated dramatically in the 4th quarter, and I can tell you that trend has continued through January and February of this year. So just to give you another set of metrics, we're averaging about 100 new projects every month coming into LEAD for homes, and our average project size, again, it could be a single family production community, it could be a multifamily building, but our average project size is between 30 and 40 units. So assuming no growth for the program, our 156 Green Raters are going to see 8 new projects this year, 250 to 300 units. They're going to be really, really busy. And again, we think there's going to be huge growth. And to add fire to that, we're announcing today, and we hope you guys will all check it out, a new tool we're excited about, but I think it's going to continue to exacerbate this problem, is our Lead for Home scoring tool. It is online, it's free, and for the first time, it gives building professionals an easy way to approach and explore Lead for Homes without investing a lot of time and resources. It's available, it just launched this morning, it's at leadforhomes.org. This tool can take you through the rating process preliminarily for a Lead for Homes project, but even better, it's got something that we're really excited about, which is called a quick score. So if somebody's really pressed for time and they don't have the hour to put into going through the credit by credit process, you can actually go in, answer about 10 minutes worth of questions, and get a really good idea of where that project will fall on the Lead for Home certification scale. As you go through it, it gives you constant feedback on how you're doing, and the project, it's a project tool, so you can save your information, you can store it, you can come back to it later. It's a great way for the market to really stick their toe into the LEED water, and we think it's going to help push the market's foot even further on the LEED accelerator. So we invite you guys all to check that out. So anyway, we're going to need your help. We really need your help to be part of our Green Rater program. And let me explain to you why I think this is a good fit for all of you. First, LEED is taking off across the country geographically. Wherever you live, there's opportunity, and certainly there's the hotbeds, places like California and Texas, certainly Florida and New York. But you know, even if you look in that Midwestern part of the country where the map's a little more blue, a lot of those drivers are the fact that we just don't have enough people to meet the market demand. Okay? So if you're in one of these hotbed states, you're in luck because there's a terrific opportunity for you. If you're in one of these other states, you know, honestly, the market is waiting for you. So again, there's terrific opportunity there. The other piece is that LEED is not one-dimensional. So as you can see, our mix, it opens up opportunities beyond single-family homes. In fact, the bulk of our units in 2010, as you can see, were multifamily units, apartments, condos, affordable housing communities, all of whom need Green Raters to meet their LEED objectives. If you look at the markets that we serve, obviously within the single-family production home building community, and here are just a few names and of folks that are actually doing LEED or have done LEED projects. We're really excited. Last week, we announced that McGuire Home Builders, who's a top 25 builder in the DFW market, is converting 100% of their work over to LEED for Homes. But this is really just part of the story. If you start to layer in some of these multifamily folks like Amley and Dinnerstein and the Gables, this is a group who doesn't have to be educated on why LEED makes sense. They already get it. They're just looking for people to help them get there. And by the way, this slide doesn't even begin to mention the custom home segment, which is significant for us, and there's really no way to represent that by a slide, but we have hundreds of custom home builders that are using LEED as well. So it's a great fit for you. And then just to close out, just to give you a sense of where you are in the process, I really want to assure you, you're still very early in the game. If you think about LEED as a technology, and you can look at this through the lens of sort of a traditional technology adoption curve, and you put it into 5 groups. You've got the innovators, first movers, certainly the early adopters, and then comes the early and late majority and folks that come in the back of the laggards. If you think about LEED in that context, it's easy to think, well, the custom builders were the innovators, the first movers, and the affordable housing folks came in after that because they have incentives and da-da-da-da-da. But the truth of the matter is, each of these are very, very distinct segments, and each of them are still very, very early. I mean, if you look at the custom home builders, yes, they've been sort of our R&D for LEED for Homes and a lot of the cutting-edge green building programs. But again, that market is really still being developed. The affordable housing development community, huge incentives to go LEED. The multifamily, as I mentioned before, the multifamily sector, a lot of their investors are pushing them to build more sustainably. And then you've got the production home builders who, quite honestly, for the first time in the last 6 months, we're seeing a thawing and a real willingness to look at sustainability as a competitive differentiator. So again, I think there's terrific opportunity in each of these segments, no matter where you live, no matter which segment you play in, there's huge opportunity for you. So I hope this has been kind of useful for you, and we can convince you to come learn a little bit more. We've got a session this afternoon at 1:30. We'll go much more into the mechanics of how to become a Lead for Homes Green Rater, so we hope to see you there. So I appreciate your time and attention this morning. I'm very grateful to Steve and the Resnet group for your partnership, and we really hope you'll take a serious look at Lead for Homes and help us with our problem. So thank you very much.